Hey everybody, we are so happy to be with you on this Sunday morning. I'm Jill Valley with Louis Dortch. We're at the 2022 finish line at the Missoula Marathon, and it is so exciting down here.
Jill, after 2 years, everybody down here again, tons of people down here as well. Runners finishing right behind us now. Jill, it's such a great atmosphere. We're also happy to be back.
So much so. We always also know that the top runners in the actual marathon should be here in about 20 minutes. We got a report that they were near Hawthorne School at one point, so they're on their way.
Yep.
In fact, they got started bright and early, the marathon runners, the 26.1ers, right outside the area in Frenchtown, 6 a.m., started their run. We were there for the start of that. All the stories those people can tell, all the work that went into this, it takes months and months to train for a marathon, and I'm just so impressed by them, and we're so excited to see the finishers as they come across the line.
Yeah, and I tell you what as well, Jill, is with the weather out for the beginning of it was beautiful as well. We talked to some of the winners as they came across earlier, the half marathon. He was saying conditions were perfect. You had temperatures in the 40s, clear sky. So as far as running is concerned, Jill, I don't think the weather could have been much better than what we had this morning as well.
Not a cloud in the sky. The half marathon also starts at 6 a.m. That starts from the peak near Blue Mountain, and that's also a fun atmosphere. I did it a few years ago, and they had fireworks, and you get a little nervous when you're starting it, because even if you're doing the full marathon, you got to go all the way to Frenchtown. You have to be up at like 2 in the morning to make sure you have to have your meals balanced well and like your bathroom breaks figured out, what you're going to wear. But then I think once you get on the road, it's just, this is what I trained for, let's do it. And later on, we're going to talk to those who won the half marathon. The male finisher, I think, was under an hour.
Yeah, it was like 58 minutes
I know,
or something
right?
like that. Crazy, Joe. And we're going to be here for an hour here. So we're going to be covering all this. We'll be going live on our streaming app as well, Joe. We have reporters out. We have reporters out covering the entire race too. So we'll kind of have updates throughout the race in different spots on the track as well to kind of get the live updates as these runners are running through.
Which is amazing. In fact, so for the first time this year, we have Dennis Bragg. He is at Bonner Park. We have Megan Mannering. We have Hannah Hislop. They're on the course, and we'll be checking in with them later. When we have Dennis at Bonner Park, and Bonner Park is a very key moment of this race because you know, as you're running, the end is in sight. There's a big water station there. You do the whip around. Next thing you know, you're heading towards the backside of Hellgate High School, and it's very festive. And there's lots of neighborhood support. So we're hoping to join Dennis there. You guys let me know when we're ready to go check in on Dennis, as he's a part of that situation.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Let's go find out what Dennis is doing at Bonner Park right now. Dennis.
For the first time in 2 years, the shouts of "You're almost there" echoing through the neighborhood here at Bonner Park as the Missoula Marathon is back after that 2-year pandemic interruption. Kyle Hansen takes a look at how the marathon has made its comeback.
The Missoula Marathon hasn't held an in-person event since 2019 due to COVID-19, but at long last, one of the Garden City's largest summer events makes its return this weekend. First year, race director Tricia Drobeck said the team at Run Wild Missoula began working with various groups to see how this event would function now that it's back to being in person rather than virtual as it was the last 2 years.
Really was just opening the conversation with different agencies and different groups to see, what is this in-person race going to look like in 2022? And talking with, Downtown Partnership and working with PD and how many police officers can they offer, and, the county and what they're willing to give, and Parks and Rec, what's going to happen with all of the construction, everything that's happening in town.
The course this year is almost identical to years past, with a couple of minor changes, but despite ongoing construction, the Bear Tracks Bridge will be where the finish line is once again, with the lone lane available.
We kind of just work backwards. We take what we're given. We were gifted, I should say, half of that bridge to work with, which was amazing, being able to still have that finish line for our participants, and kind of work backwards from there and just rearrange things and make sure everything was in order, make sure the course was correct and certified.
At the end of the day, it was about finding a way to make it work.
But for the most part, you can't change what's not going to happen. So we just take what we can get and just try to make the best of it.
The full marathon is expected to field 1,000 runners, 2,600 in the half marathon, 1,200 in the 5K, and 500 in the kids race this year. But above all, after 2 long years, the summertime staple since 2007 is back on course.
I kind of look at this year as kind of a homecoming for our participants, for our race committee, for our fans, for our volunteers. Everybody can just kind of get back to it and remember why the Missoula Marathon is such a signature event in this town.
Reporting in Missoula, Kyle Hansen, MTN Sports.
I'm back. I saw a father and daughter go by a minute ago, a little girl, she's like 4. She goes, I want a Powerade. You can see we're getting the rest of the half marathon finishers coming by, watching for those full marathoners pretty soon. Jill and Lewis, back to you at the finish line.
Wow, you know what? It's almost hard to concentrate on doing our jobs because I just want to hoop and yell for all these people coming across the finish line.
So many people coming across right now as well, Joe. Just saw one of my friends come through as well. And what I noticed too is that some people are coming through and they're strollers and they're pushing kids. We saw one, Jill, there was a little girl. She came out the last stretch with her mom and ran the last stretch. She was like, good job, Mommy.
I
was like,
give her a hug.
oh my word, Joe, I'm getting the feels
I
down
know,
here
I
this
have
morning.
the feels. There's so many of those stories, and you know, we hope to bring them to you. We do know that the women's, the person who's in first place for the women in the marathon has just gone past where Megan Mannering and Hannah Hislop are set up right there at Hawthorne School.
Yeah.
Where they are, that is a very significant aid station. I mean, they've got everything from the Gatorade to the water. They also have some of the gels. Have you heard of those? They're like these little squirts of gummy stuff you can put in your mouth that helps give you the energy. So we should check in with Megan because I'm sure she's in a party atmosphere right now.
Yeah, let's do it. Megan, how's it looking where you are?
Hello, everybody. I am here with Hannah Hislop. We're behind Hawthorne Elementary at the 19-mile marker, and we've had a steady stream of half marathon runners coming through. We just saw our first few male full marathon runners, and we just saw the first woman full marathon runner. And let me tell you, she is ripped and she is killing it. Now, at this point, those runners have about 7 miles left. So as you can imagine, they are spent. But luckily, check this out. We've got a team of volunteers behind us, and they are keeping that energy high. They're handing out water, they're handing out Powerade, handing out motivation as well. It takes over 700 volunteers to keep this marathon running smoothly. You know, without volunteers, this marathon just wouldn't be what it is. We'll be updating you live from our point here at the 19-mile marker throughout the marathon, so be sure to stay tuned. We'll send it back to you.
It is so fun down here. I just love the families who are on the sidelines cheering for their loved ones who've just accomplished something amazing. 13.1 or 26.2, you know what I mean?
Either way, and there's a lot of cheering going on. I'm not a runner, but it's almost maybe just enough to make me try to run, maybe, but we'll see that maybe coming up here in a little bit.
You'll be inspired, that's for sure. Yeah. We're going to take a break, but we are getting really close to seeing the marathon runners cross the finish line. So we'll be right back as our coverage of the 2022 Missoula Marathon in person this year. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to MTN Sports live coverage of the Missoula Marathon, sponsored by First Security Bank.
All right, we are still here at the Missoula Marathon. We're at the finish line. The half marathoners have been streaming through. The first winner came through at under an hour.
Under an hour, Jill. Yeah.
That's a pace right there.
Yes.
And we do expect in the next 10 minutes or so the first man running the full marathon to cross the finish line, and we'll be right here. It's fun around here. A lot of people are very tired when they cross the finish line, maybe have an upset stomach or so, but they're still victorious because they got up at the crack of dawn to achieve this, and it's so fun to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It was great. You got to talk to the first man to cross the half marathon.
Yeah, so we were able to talk. You talked to the first woman to talk the half marathon cross. I talked to the winner of the half marathon on the man's side. And yes, so overall, Jill, like we said, it was a fantastic pace that they had there. And so we had some interviews to kind of talk to them how it was, how it felt, and how the course was overall in general.
Zach Perrin was the winner.
Yes. Yep.
And Elizabeth Wasserman won the half marathon. I talked to her. She was from Columbia Falls. Yeah. And in the past, the closest she came to first, she came in fourth. This was her third marathon, half marathon running, and she won. And she was not even sweating. It's just amazing. But I, did ask her, like, what does it feel like to run across the finish line when you know you're first? She says it's just euphoric,
Yeah. Well, and what was pretty cool is that both of them, so who I talked to, he grew up here in around the Missoula area, and then he ended up moving to Bozeman. He's living in Bozeman right now. So we're actually able to catch up to both of them and talk to them, and this is what they had to say.
Hey there, I am with the women's winner of the half marathon. It is Elizabeth Wasserman from Columbia Falls. Congratulations. What was your time and how did you feel out there?
Thank you. My time was 1:18:55, I think. And I felt pretty good. It's not my best time, but I'm happy with it overall.
Well, you got first place.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. So how do you feel about the course and the weather and how everything kind of shaped up when you woke up this morning and took on this adventure?
Oh, I love this course. This is the third time I've run the half, my first time winning it. So I knew what I was getting into, and it's a really fun course, and the volunteer and fan support's really nice.
So this is the first time you've won. Did you come close in previous years?
The best I had done previously was 4th place, so sort of close.
How exciting. I'm so proud of you. What a great feeling. What does it feel like for those who don't run when you're coming across that finish line and you know you're first?
Oh, it feels so good. You get so tired going through Bonner Park and stuff over there, but once you see the bridge and the Wilmot, it's like you get new energy to you, and it's just kind of easy to sprint in knowing it's right there.
Well, congratulations. Thank you so much, and maybe we'll see you here next year.
I'm sure.
All right. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, and so Zach Perrin, like we said, is the one who won the men's half marathon. We were able to come up and talk to him afterwards as well. He was talking about how the course was, how he felt, and this is what he had to say as well. Well, good morning, everyone. I am here with the winner of the half marathon here, the Missoula half marathon with Zach. Zach, buddy, first, big congratulations to you out there. Just first, kind of tell me, how was the course, conditions? How are you feeling out there today?
Yeah, I mean, as far as conditions go, you couldn't really hope for a better day. It's like 45 degrees at the start, which is pretty not typical for this time of year.
Yeah.
So that was great. And then, there's a loaded field of guys, a lot of guys from Montana. So, I didn't really know what to expect, but I was just excited to get out here and race and see what happened, and it ended up being a good day.
Zach, so tell me first, where are you from? Are you from around here?
Yeah, so I grew up in Flathead Valley, and then went to school at University of Colorado with Adam Peterman, and then, now I live in Bozeman.
All right, Zach, so local guy, so that's awesome. So Zach, tell me a little bit how you were feeling. How did you feel about your time? How about everything like that?
Yeah, it went out pretty fast. A couple of the guys took it out quick, and it was probably a little too aggressive for me, so I was a little bit worried right away that it went too fast. And then it kind of broke up quicker than I would have liked, so I think from mile 8 on, we were all kind of just spread out, and I was running by myself, and honestly it got pretty hard at the end. I was a little bit scared I wasn't going to be able to keep going at that pace, but I was able to make it into the finish, so that was good.
Yeah, man. I saw you coming in here. Zach, the pace coming in here, I was like, I can't believe he's just run this far. A few other ones for you here, Zach. What do you have plans for the rest of the day? You're recovering, you're going to eat, what's happening here, man?
So my mom and dad are running the race, so gonna hang out with them after, and then my siblings are here too, so gonna hang out, probably get some food, enjoy Missoula. Yeah, just probably head back to Bozeman at some point today.
Well, Zach, man, again, congratulations. Yeah, dude, have a good rest of your day. Recover, man. Recover, get some rest. All right, thanks, Zach.
We are getting closer to having the first finisher for the marathon cross, so we're hopefully going to get that live for you.
Yeah.
For sure. Actually, it's funny, we're in coats while all these people are sweating because when the sun's not shining, it's a little chilly
It's a
here.
little chilly down here, Jill, I'm not going to lie.
But the weather's pretty good. Let's go to Elizabeth Copeland in the studio for a look at the forecast for today.
It definitely is a little chilly out there, guys, and actually temperatures right now holding steady in the 50s. So, I mean, we still have a 30-degree plus warm-up to go for the highs outside this afternoon. Now, speaking of wind, not a lot of wind, so the good news is if you're standing in the shade, you're not feeling too much colder than the 50-degree mark, and a clear 10 miles of visibility. Another great day to get outside, enjoy those bluebird skies, because we don't have a cloud in the sky this afternoon. Matter of fact, looking at another clear day and a hot one, going to be even hotter than tomorrow. Matter of fact, highs are already about 2-3 degrees warmer than they were this time yesterday. We're looking like we're going to hit the 80s today, a 10-degree warm-up before we hit the 90s tomorrow. So I'm not the only one holding down the studio right now. We have our own Katie Miller here. She's also helping out. And Katie, I know when we came in this morning, we actually had quite a bit of cooler temperatures in the forecast. But for the most part, you know, we're going to see a lot more of those warmer skies this afternoon.
Yeah, Elizabeth, you know, I was wondering why they start the marathon so early. I guess it's so they beat the heat. All right, well, I guess that's it for us here in the studio. I don't know if Hannah Hislop is ready out there, if we're just going to send it back on over to you, Jill and Lewis at the finish line, but stay tuned and we'll be back here in the studio with me and Elizabeth.
All right. Wow. I tell you what, any minute now we're going to see the first man cross the finish line.
I know they were saying that it's going to be roughly, they thought maybe 8:20 to 8:25-ish.
So we're at 2:18:30, so they're doing great. You know, Hannah Hislop is also reporting for us remotely out in the field where at this point those water stations are surely packed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Filled with people, and so many volunteers they even have Band-Aids. They even have a special medical crew that goes around in case somebody gets into trouble.
Yep.
So they're well organized.
Yes, they are. They are well organized. We'll go ahead and toss it to Hannah now. We'll see how it's looking over there at where she's at. Hannah, how's it going?
Yeah, Megan and I have seen a steady stream of people here near Hawthorne Elementary, and this corner where we're standing doubles as a water station. So volunteers are giving out water and lots of high fives for those runners as they come and round this corner through this neighborhood where they have hit the 7-mile marker until the finish. And this crowd out here of volunteers, they are so enthusiastic. It makes me want to sign up for this race next year. And I don't know what the finish looks like with Jill and Lewis, but I have to do this next year. So guys, this is just great, and the water, and we're running through, and there's actually been a ton of marathoners that have come past us already. And so Jill and Lewis, I bet you guys are going to be seeing.
Yep.
All right, so exciting.
Yes, I know, and Joe, we just got word. It sounds like the winner, Mark Mesmer, is about 8 minutes out or so. So we
right back here at the finish line of the 2022 Missoula Marathon. We'll be right back.
You're watching CW Montana.
Welcome back.
You're watching CW.
The Missoula Marathon, sponsored by First
You're watching CW Montana.
Okay,
all right,
you
here
guys
we
are
go.
looking live, right? Looking live right now. Here comes the winner of the Missoula Marathon, Mark Mesmer. We're just going to stand and watch the moment unfold.
Coming across right now, Jill. Here we go. Whew. 2 hours, 21 minutes
And he makes
there,
it
Jill.
look so easy.
Jill, he doesn't even look tired. I tell you what, it's kind of crazy. He came across, I mean, you know, I'm looking right now. He's smiling, Jill. He's smiling. He's walking around like, it's amazing. He looks like that wasn't even that difficult. Just came across such a good pace, too.
Oh, this is the kind of stuff that just is so inspirational to me. You know, whether you're the elite runner, and because he's won multiple times, so he knows what he's doing. Or if you're the very last person, the fact that you strapped on some tennis shoes and you trained for this and did this kind of makes you feel like you want to do it.
Like I said before, Jill, I've never really wanted to run, but I was like, you know what, maybe I'll try it, but I don't know. This is such a great atmosphere down here. Hearing everybody cheer as he's coming through as well. Everyone's so excited. It's been so great, and we'll continue to see a lot more people filing in here throughout the morning.
Yes, exactly. You look like you could be a runner.
No, Jill, you know what? I like to think of myself as one until I get about a mile in, and I'll be, you know what? I'm good. I will hold off, and I'll be a cheerer. I'm really good at cheering for people. So there you go.
Which is what we want to do. We're all cheering for Mark Mesmer, who just crossed the finish line, and I think we're going to be able to talk to him in just a minute when he's ready for his TV time.
Yeah, he's taking a little break.
You may need to have a sip of water, or maybe
sit down for a minute.
Stretch out those hamstrings, or
energy bar, or one of those gels that you were talking about there as well, Jill. So there you go. So you know what, Jill? We'll just be down here and continue following. We still have the second and third place people who are just behind them as well. But he came through, Jill, and kind of looking down the side here. We don't even see anyone coming down here yet. So he really seemed to put up a really good pace and win by quite a while, because there's still, I don't even see anybody else coming down the finish line for the marathon yet here, Jill.
I remember a few years ago I interviewed the winner for the women, and I noticed she didn't have any earbuds in, or she didn't listen to any music, and I thought, gosh, if I was going to run that long, I would want to listen to something. But she actually said it was distracting, and in some of the main races, they're not even allowed. So that's why you see a lot of the elite runners. I mean, they don't listen to music, or I would listen to AC/DC.
Oh, to get you pumped.
to get you pumped, but I think they've got their own mental checklist, and listening to their bodies and knowing exactly the pace they need to go, and then you see the end result of that, the elite runners, so they know what they're doing. So it's really great. They also have a lot of classes that Run Wild Missoula puts on that can teach you some of those techniques. They also have it's called the Jeff Galloway method, where you have a timer and you run in intervals. So you run 30 seconds, walk 30 seconds. So it's the run-walk method, which seems weird, but it's been proven that you can still get a good time, and that's what I did.
When because you've done this before too, Jill.
Yeah, a couple times, and I mean, because I don't think I could run the whole way without, having to stop. Well, this way you do this, start and stop, and you do it.
Do you have trouble hearing conversations? Are you constantly asking loved ones to repeat themselves? Do you miss out on discussions or talking with friends? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Don't waste thousands of dollars on expensive hearing aids.
Yes.
So we're still waiting for her, and then we have someone running the full marathon as well. And Jill, his name is Justin. He was really trying to get me to do it, and he kept on. He's like, Lewis, you got to run this with me. And I was like, you know what, Justin? I'm going to watch you do it first. You tell me how it is, and maybe next year. But he said he had never been a runner before this, Jill. Kind of like what you were talking about training for. He said he hadn't been a runner. I asked him, I was like, do you run much? He's like, no, but he kind of was talking about the training tips that you were talking about. So I don't know. He said, if I can do it, anyone can do it. But I don't know about that. But it's still, I think as far as the runners go, everyone's having a good time. And Jill, it's just a good time to be down here.
A lot of the training that they offer through Run Wild Missoula.
It's raining. It's pouring. During
this race here in June. Oh, I hear that the first woman.
Yeah, just went through Bonner Park.
Yeah, we thought it would take him 8 minutes. It took him 30 seconds, so she'll probably be coming around the corner here before too long.
Yeah, and just until then, Jill, we're going to be waiting. We'll be able to talk to her, hopefully, before we're done here. And we're just waiting for the winner, Mark Mesmer, to come as well. He's getting a much-needed breather and hopefully some fueling up as well. Still looking down the side here, Jill.
You see
Half marathons are coming in. It looks like we have the second place. Looks like we have second place finisher just getting ready to come in as well.
Is that what that is, or is that the?
It looks like it way down there at the
they're so
end.
far away. We'll wait and see.
I know.
But somebody's coming across the finish line for the marathon. I bet you they are thinking, oh, finally.
I know.
The Higgins Bridge, the Bear Tracks Bridge.
I know. You can do it. He's doing great. Yeah, and still, I mean, all these people still following in from the half marathon as well, Jill. It's been such a great atmosphere down here too. I was down here last night, kind of before just building up this downtown. So many people downtown and everything, and it's been a great atmosphere. And here we go.
Mark Mesmer. Go ahead.
Yeah, all right. Mark, come on, man. Get in here. We'll come right in the middle here, man.
Thanks.
First off, congratulations,
Thank you.
buddy.
Appreciate
Congratulations. So, Mark, let's just get right into it. How are you feeling? How was the course? How was it out there today?
Yeah, it was a beautiful day. I mean, the whole community always comes back, and that's a big part of the reason why I continue to come back and run this race. Of course, it's hometown, but it's a gorgeous day, no wind, perfect temperatures. Can't ask for anything better, really.
Yeah, so Mark, how did you feel out there? How did you feel about your time and what you did? Did you have a goal for this? How did that go?
Yeah, I mean, I was shooting for the course record. Fell short of that, of course, but started out a little too conservative and then just couldn't make up the time on the back half. So it is what it is. Just gives me another excuse to come back next year and go for it again. So.
Do it again. Yeah, man. So, Mark, when you were coming down here, I was noticing you, man. I mean, I know, how does it feel when you're out there? Because you had a smile on your face, dude. Yeah. You crossed the finish line. Like, it looked from an outsider's view, I was like, he's not even tired, man. How much training and everything goes into this for you?
Well, I'm definitely tired, but...
fooled me, I tell you what. Like, look at you smiling. It's
but
crazy.
I mean, it's a great feeling. Like I said, you got the bridge full of people, so that helps. But, yeah, I mean, a ton of training, 120-mile weeks go into it, and then... just try and stay healthy. I've had a couple injuries along the way. I've gotten Achilles tendonitis issue that just has been bugging me, so just trying to push through that. And I mean, it made it, so that's all I can ask for. Now I get a little rest and recover. So
one more before we get you out of here. I know you got to rest. What's the plan for the rest of the day? You eating? You relaxing? What goes into it now, man?
All of the above. I'll go hang out in Cares Park for a little bit, enjoy all the festivities, and then yeah, chill the rest of the day and put my feet up and try and start to recover. So,
Mark, again, man, congratulations, dude. Great job. Great job. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks so much.
All right, Mark. Have a good one. Thanks. All right. All right, Joe. So then we had it.
All right. We also had the third place.
Third place there. All right.
Just got to take a little break there on the pavement, you know, just to give himself a break. Such an accomplishment.
Yeah. So
I think he's okay. Yeah, he's good. Okay.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, this takes a lot. I mean, as much as we're saying this is the greatest thing ever, this takes a toll on your body.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've had some people get sick. We've had some people, like, kind of have collapse. I mean, they're fine and everything, but, I mean, it just shows you this is endurance at its highest level.
It really is. So we heard from Mark there. We're going to have the winner of the women's come in here soon, but until we get to there, we're going to go ahead and toss to Megan and see what it looks like where she's at. Megan, how's it going?
I don't know what the energy's like at the finish line, but at the 19-mile marker, it's electric. And it's one thing to tell you, but it's another thing to show you. So there are about 10 volunteers here at this station. Guys, let's hear it. Let's go. Holy cow, almost makes you want to, turn off the TV.
It's raining. It's pouring. During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous. So the next time a storm is coming, trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary.
Wow, it's so clear. It's dusk, but I can really see.
Oh, wow. Honestly, for how dark it is out here right now, these are incredible.
Battle Vision Storm uses light-optimizing lenses that block blue rays, so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. And they're not just for storms. They turn night to bright, even in perfect weather.
I used to hate driving at night. The traffic lines were hard to see, the lights from oncoming traffic were blinding. I feel so much safer driving in the evenings now.
Blinding sunlight or headlights cut the glare instantly. Dark traffic signs, see them with confidence. Blurry lane markers turn clear and visible. Wow! Even objects in your side and rear view mirrors are easier to see. And
short, and it's a piece of cake. Not only is it not short, there's also a slight incline. So I think I hyperventilated the time I did it halfway over the bridge, and I'm like, get a grip, Jill. You only got like 100 yards to go. But it was, yeah, so it's deceiving. You think, oh, I'm going to run across that bridge victoriously, and
no, it's not. So we have Dennis standing by as well. And what we'll do is let's go ahead and toss to Dennis and see what it looks like where he's asked to give us an update. Dennis, how's it going?
We're back here at Bonner Park, yes, Megan, and we're kind of hitting that lull right now for our runners because, you know, we still have the half marathon folks going through. We had the big rush here about 15 minutes ago with that. And, of course, Mark Mesmer going by here a while ago just looked spectacular, running strong, well out in front. Definitely we didn't have the drag races that we've seen in some past marathons. I mean, he kind of blew the doors off the place. I was looking at his average time running at about 5:26, so that's a pretty good clip. I'll be curious to see if that's a record pace and where we end up on some of those numbers because that actually was something that we were kind of watching for to see what would happen. What happens with this 2-year layoff with some of these runners? And obviously, Mark, it didn't slow him down a bit. I think he still runs out in Issaquah, if I recall, where he lives. So doing very well and running hard in this marathon. And we saw, of course, our female finisher coming across to Shauna a few minutes ago and tracking through. The app this year not working quite as well as it has in the past, so we're doing our best to give you some of these results. And they're staying busy right here at Bonner Park. So we'll continue to cover our marathon coverage here. There goes another. Some of the folks now, they start getting off in this other lane, so you can't tell was that a full marathon or a half marathon. But I can't tell you, no matter what race they're running, they're getting the same big welcome and the same encouragement in this last mile. Dennis Bragg here at Bonner Park.
So race director Tricia Droback is actually getting set up to hand out the medals to the men's marathon winners. They also get champagne. Probably not the thing they want to drink right now, but definitely tonight when they're resting up and hopefully taking a soak in a hot tub or something.
You know what I've noticed here too, Jill, as we're waiting for the winner of the women's to come through. I've noticed a lot of the costumes or the uniforms that people wear, and that just adds another thing to it. And it's funny. I think when people come through that had like some tiger stuff on, like some tiger shirts and everything like that. I was like, you know what? I love everything. There's some people who are out here. I don't know how you can have fun running, you know, a marathon or a half marathon. That doesn't sound fun to me, but they make it fun.
A tutu. There's a guy wearing a tutu.
Yeah, a tutu. You
I
dress
think that's
up and
great.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
Well, you know, and we talked about this too, as on what I learned about the clothes you wear for your run. They need to be the clothes you've been wearing the whole time you've been training. Because if you decide to go and buy a whole new running outfit the day before, you could have chafing.
Yeah.
You could have pinching, and it may not wick the sweat off. So you have to stick with it. And I know the fashion part is fun, but you got to pick your fashion early.
You don't want to pick something brand new.
Just like shoes, you know, they got to be your running shoes that you take good care of, and they aren't brand new.
So if you run in a tutu, the say is you have to practice in the tutu as well.
Just in case it's scratchy on your tummy.
It's all part of the racing experience there.
You're like pounding the pavement for 2.5 hours. You don't want anything rubbing the wrong way.
No, not at all. All right, let's go ahead now and send it to Elizabeth Copeland in the studio to kind of see what it's looking like there. Maybe an update on what our weather's looking out right now, because I'm going to say, Jill, pretty nice right now. Elizabeth, how's it looking out there?
Yeah, hey guys, it's still holding right at that 50-degree mark, which I know it's cold for you guys, but I'm sure those runners are really loving it. Blue skies all around, no wind. Again, that marathon winner really commenting about how beautiful of a day it is for running. I know I'm not much of a runner myself, so it might be a little jacket weather if I'm heading out to go support those half marathoners and marathoners. But overall, a clear 10 miles of visibility, and if you can believe it, we have about 30+ degrees to warm up today. We'll be in the 80s before you know it, so I know these runners are ready to hit that finish line and get some food in them before we hit those 80s and get out of that sun. Not a cloud in the sky to help protect us from those UV rays this afternoon, so definitely going to need the water and a little extra sunscreen ourselves. So overall, a pretty warm couple of days in store, already warming up quite a bit from this time yesterday. And again, we're only going to warm up to the 90s early this week. So Katie, I don't know about you, but I was looking to get some of those cinnamon rolls in my belly this morning. I thought the marathon, maybe next week. And, I was trying to carb load myself, and here we are. So maybe not going to make it out there for this one, but maybe 4 or 5 years from now when I get in shape.
Right, yeah, you'll get some practice in, right? I mean, like Jill was saying earlier, it takes so much training and effort to get ready to do something like this. And
right.
I mean, it's so exciting out there, still waiting on those women to come in, those women winners.
Right.
But yeah, we got some cinnamon rolls here at the station this morning, so I will not be running a marathon anytime soon.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be training for the hot dog eating contest
more
so than the marathon. But honestly, it is so great to see those winners come through with a smile on their face. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, very exciting, very exciting. And speaking of, let's go ahead and hand it back over to Jill and Lewis there at the finish line.
All right, we are still awaiting that first woman to cross for the full marathon. What's so fun this year is we have reporters around the course. We even have drone video flying above right here at the finish line, so we can really capture the essence of this incredible community event that everyone is so happy we're back now in person. People from all over the United States come here. We've got people from different countries who want to join, because this has been named one of the best marathons. People like the course, they like the weather, and they really like how the volunteers make everybody feel special. Yeah. Because, when you're a runner, you're nervous about it, and you like to know that people care enough to make sure you've got what you need to be successful on this Sunday morning.
It's also the community, it seems like, really gets behind all of these runners here. Like, we're looking, it's packed. People are lined all up and down the side here. There's cheering. There's a lot going on. So it's just a whole community atmosphere. I think that also makes this such a great run as well. I mentioned it last night, too. I came downtown. So many people downtown. So many people out enjoying it. So especially after 2 years, to kind of get this back is really a great thing.
Well, the expo is wonderful too, not to mention the kids marathon, which encourages health for kids, and they kind of run on their own for a lot of the year, and then the last mile is at the kids marathon. And then yesterday was also the 5K, and that was in name of Tony Banovich. He was the race director for a long, long time, and he passed away in 2020 from a heart condition.
Yeah.
And we were talking to Trisha Drobeck earlier. She's now the race director. She says it's just strange not to have him out here at the finish line, because he was always here greeting the winners, greeting everybody. And he kind of inspired me to even attempt
to get
into
into it.
Because he's like, you can do it. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Just do it. So he is definitely missed, but he is remembered in the legacy he left behind for the running community in Missoula.
Yes, for sure. And now, as we're still waiting here, we're going to have the women's winner live as she's coming across. But until then, we'll go ahead and toss it to Dennis to kind of get an update what it looks like there at Bonner Park. Dennis, how's it going?
You really wish sometimes you could walk out and talk to every one of these runners, because every one of them has a story. One of the things I think that's interesting, and I didn't do a comparison with past years, is that the average age of the marathon runner this year is 40. I don't know how that compares, but I have noticed a lot more, I would say, seasoned runners out here today. So that's good to see all ages taking part in this. And we've seen some guys go by in the half marathon that, 8, 9, 10 years old perhaps. I was looking at the numbers. 521 men ran in this year's event, 415 women, and again the average age was 26. Now that's total marathon participants in both the half marathon and also the full marathon. We're at that point in the morning where it kind of is just that slow slog as they come across, but the thing is, the volunteers never back up. They give, I don't care if they were first in the half marathon, first baking down here like Mark Mesmer did a few minutes ago, the enthusiasm of these great volunteers never fails. If you're coming down here and you're just barely going through, water, Powerade, what do you need to finish your Missoula Marathon race? And that's really kind of the great atmosphere that right here is Bonner. You've made the accomplishment, now get it across the finish line. At Bonner Park, we continue our Missoula Marathon coverage.
Do you guys want some fact sheets or anything? Would that be maybe one.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are. They're just about to award the men's marathon winners with their big plaques and their champagne and the picture and the congratulations.
Yeah.
It's amazing, yeah. So Tricia Drobeck is the director this year after we talked about Tony Banovich's unfortunate passing.
Yeah.
And she has really, taken the reins of this race. And we had a chance to talk to her earlier this week, so let's talk to her about that.
She's arguably the most decorated athlete the Missoula Marathon has ever seen, and Tricia Drobeck is once again ready to participate in this year's event. Only this time, it will be from an administrative side, as she's finishing up her first year as race director. Like many during the COVID-19 pandemic, Drobeck found herself wanting to change course in her career to find more fulfillment in life.
I feel like I am a classic COVID cliche. I worked in sales. I was a supervisor for inside sales at a manufacturing company in town. And I had the opportunity during COVID to work from home, and I got lots of time to spend with my kids, less time commuting, priorities changed.
So, in a way, Drobeck came home. She was hired as the executive director of Run Wild Missoula and named the race director of the Missoula Marathon last August. Drobeck was hired after former race director Tony Banovich passed away in October of 2020.
I've never been shy over the probably dozen times I've run the Missoula Marathon that it is my favorite marathon. So it was kind of a no-brainer. I've been a club member for almost 15 years, and I credit Run Wild Missoula for a lot of my running success because they provided me a space to grow and mature as an athlete.
In this new role, it was an opportunity to make a difference in the community that she loves.
And I really started to get involved in social issues, social injustice issues, and I thought, what a better way for myself to make a difference in my community and also set an example for my children than jumping in all the way and switching to a nonprofit and working with community members and strengthening community partnerships through running.
Drobeck is a 4-time Missoula Marathon winner and holds the 3 fastest times ever recorded in the women's full marathon, including the record in 2015. This year, a new record could happen just from someone else instead.
My days are over with that, and I am excited to bring in some athletes, stellar athletes with our elite coordinators and get those records broken, because that is what records are, they're made to get broken.
And as for seeing her out on the course at all,
I also get people asking me personally, like, oh, are you running this year since you're the race director? And I'm like, no, there's no way I'm going to be able to run. I'm going to be up for like 48 hours, not sleeping. So it's a different kind of race.
Reporting in Missoula, Kyle Hansen, MTN Sports.
All right, here we are. We're still awaiting the first woman to cross. We don't want to miss it, so we're going to wait until that happens because that is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, no, it is. And Jill, in the meantime, we just have some of these stats that we've been talking about. Jill, there are over in this runners here, there are over 4,726 total runners that have been in the half marathon, the full marathon. That's a lot of people coming in here, Jill, for this event.
Well, one of the things that makes this marathon special and why people like it so much, it's a pretty flat course. And it's amazing because you're running in the country for part of it, and then you end up in the city, and then you end up downtown. So you have a variety of things to look at, variety of experiences, and people like it. It's paved the whole way, so again, it's flat and fast. This is a qualifier for the Boston Marathon and among others like that. And we mentioned that this was named the best marathon in the United States several different times. Runner's World Magazine and Bib Rave 100. So they got their act together with this race, and people really enjoy it.
They really did. And as far as like when you were talking about the scenery, that's hard to beat the scenery as well with this thing. And I saw, Jill, that you had a list of the different countries and then also the different states that people were coming in from, and just how many people this brings in from not just the United States, Jill, as well from other countries as well. A lot of people coming in with this.
We have like 157 people from California in this race. We have 34 people from North Carolina.
There you go.
What an amazing little summer trip. Hey, let's go to Montana.
Right? Look at that.
From North Carolina,
447
Minnesota,
people from Washington.
Missouri, 56 from New York.
Yeah.
But again, for those elite runners, this is a qualifier for even some of the bigger races, though I think the Boston Marathon is considered one of the most prestigious, at least for now.
Right.
Maybe we'll take over. You never know.
Jill, let's do it. I'm totally down for a little, let this be one of those as well. We'll take over Boston, the Boston Marathon. I feel like we could do that.
And the reason, this used to be in mid-July, but we were having trouble with wildfire smoke.
Yes, wildfire smoke.
In fact, there was one year it was especially bad, and so they thought, well, let's move it up. And we've had such a wet spring that the weather is absolutely perfect for this. So the running god said, I'm giving you good weather,
I know.
so let's do it.
It's funny, Joe, because we're talking here as well, and we're waiting, and I keep on hearing people cheer, so I keep on looking down. I'm like, I feel like there's people coming. It's like I just want to watch as well. I keep on stepping back. I'm like, all right, we have people coming down this road too. Oh, Jill, I think we may have the first woman actually coming through as well. It's tough to see. Maybe.
Are we getting close?
It's still a long ways off.
Well, when you have
First female,
no body fat because you're a super runner, it's hard to tell from a distance.
So it looks like the first female is coming in here, Jill. Here we go. We'll back up out of the way.
Let's
Here we
just
go.
watch it unfold.
Yep. She's coming in right now. It looks like. Here we go. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that woman has so many muscles.
Right? It's so
she
true.
She is so fit. Wow.
2 hours, 46 minutes, Jill, is what it looks like the first woman came in on as well. Whew, there we go. Man, congratulations there. So hopefully, Jill, we'll be able to give her a breather as well.
Sorry.
Time to relax and hopefully be able to talk as well here in just a little bit. Congratulations.
I kind of feel like maybe I should start working out.
I know, right?
My goodness. All right. So Hannah Hislop has been on the path there and kind of keeping track of things. Again, we're going to talk to the winner in just a second. And we will check in with Hannah right now.
Yeah.
Get an update on her part of the course. Again, we're going to get connected and talk to the winner in just a few minutes. So Hannah.
As the stream continues here at Hawthorne Elementary, of those runners, there are some people who are wearing shirts that say Run for the Youth, and that is for youth homes. Missoula's Youth Homes is huge on making sure that they have home and services for these kiddos in Missoula that may not have that type of environment here. So with that being said, we'll intro a package talking about those runners who are running today for Youth Homes. Over the span of 15 years, Youth Homes has put together a team of 70 to 120 people running and raising money for their organization. The group chose the Missoula Marathon as a fundraising opportunity because it helps
bring awareness and highlight, I think, the best in people, both the runners that are doing this out of the goodness of their hearts and the really good work that the kids are doing to really try and make a difference and change their lives.
Collectively, over the years, runners have raised over $1.5 million for Youth Homes. All of that money is needed to keep their doors open and provide services for kids to be kids. After a couple of years of virtual running and fundraising, Youth Homes says they are excited to have the marathon back in person to see some smiling faces.
Coming across all of these shirts is such a moving thing. It's super rewarding to see the 100+ people who are on our team really get to know about the work that we do and then talk about the work we do to their friends and family. And the network just grows and grows and grows. So.
Chris and Amy, who you just heard from in that story, tell me that some of the kids with Youth Homes are out here cheering, and that makes a huge difference for this organization, having the kids out there and seeing oftentimes the strangers who are running to support them. And with that being said, I'll send it back to Jill and Lewis to talk to that marathon winner.
All right, Hannah, thanks so much. I am here with the winner of the marathon for the women. Tell me your name and how it felt.
My name is Bonnie Keating, and it always feels great to be done.
You're from San Diego, you say?
San Diego, California, yeah.
What brought you to Missoula for this race?
I have a friend that's from here, and he recommended the race. He said it was really awesome, and I would agree that it was super organized. Everyone had a positive attitude. It was a lot of fun.
So have you run in marathons before?
Yes, I've been probably competing for over 20 years, but I didn't start racing the marathon until about 27, so I'm 37 now.
I just feel like I need to work out. You're so very, very buff. Tell me, have you won before? Is this your first big win?
This is my first win out of state. In California, I won the Rock and Roll San Diego 3 weeks ago. So on and off, you never know that day how you're going to feel, so you just go with it.
So tell me how you felt today. Did you have a good feeling about how this was going to go for you?
I started off a little conservative. I know we're only at 3,000, which is probably nothing for a lot of people, but I train at 0 elevation at sea level, so I was kind of concerned how that would feel later on in the race. So the first 13 miles for me kind of felt a lot uncomfortable, and then at 13 I just felt a lot better. I don't know, it makes no sense. So I went with it.
Were you by yourself most of the time, or did you have runners around you?
I had a couple of guys just ahead of me, and I felt like I couldn't catch them until around mile 20. I'm stronger at the end. I'm a better, longer distance runner, and so I just started picking them off one by one.
Just kept passing them. Awesome. And how does it feel for somebody who doesn't run when you're finally crossing that finish line?
For somebody that doesn't run very often, it's such a feeling of accomplishment because you endure in the marathon. You get so focused on how much you have left, and it can be overwhelming sometimes. So when you cross that finish, you're like, yes, I did that, you know. And it doesn't matter what level you're at, it's that same feeling. It's relative, right? It's hard for everybody.
So tell me, what are you going to do for the rest of the day? Are you going to treat yourself?
I wanted to go up to Glacier National Park, but I don't know if that's good for the legs to sit. So I haven't decided, but yeah, I definitely want to relax for sure.
Congratulations, and thank you so much for taking time out to say, you bet. All right. So exciting. Wow. I feel like I need to start jogging.
Right.
So normally during this time when the elite runners come through, and even those who are not elite, we mentioned Tony Banovich was always the one to greet people because he was the race director. Earlier we got to, we did a story honoring his life and legacy, and talking a little bit about how he may be gone, but he is most certainly not forgotten.
Tony Banovich made it seem like running in something as big as the Missoula Marathon was something anyone could accomplish. You didn't have to be the fastest or the fittest to be a part of this community.
Tony was a pillar of our running community, and he definitely brought this race to a pretty solid level of professionalism.
In 2010, Tony was diagnosed with viral cardiomyopathy. 9 years later, doctors told him he needed a heart transplant. But he died before that could happen.
It is with a very heavy heart for us here at KPAX-TV tonight that we report the passing of Missoula Marathon race director Tony Banovich. In an email sent to Run Wild Missoula members this afternoon, it said Banovich passed away in his sleep last night.
There was nobody who knew more about running in Montana and who had spent time in the Billings running community and then the Plains running community and then the Missoula running community. And he was involved in everything. If he called you a friend, he would do anything for you.
Banovich was named the executive director of Run Wild Missoula in 2015. That also made him race director for the Missoula Marathon, which quickly became one of the best marathons in the country. That's why this weekend, as runners gather for the Missoula Marathon for the first time in 2 years, no doubt many will remember Tony Banovich greeting the winners at the finish line with a smile and a pat on the back after a job well done, no matter how long it took to get there.
I think of him a lot. I mean, I knew Tony pretty well, and he was a big supporter of my running endeavors, and it's weird. I mean, it'll probably be weird not to see him on the bridge next weekend. It'll just feel weird.
And as we mentioned before, the 5K is named the Tony Banovich 5K, so he's got one of the races in his honor.
Very nice. So, Jill, also we've had people, as we know, around the course this morning. We have Dennis Bragg. He's been hanging out at Bonner Park as well. Let's check in with him one last time to see what it looks like over there. Dennis.
We always have to wait to see what... All right, I'm here with John back at Bonner Park. John, I love the way you were just calling out the water. It's almost like a carnival barker. Water, get your water. What brings you down here today?
Yeah, I just think it's such a great community event that they have going on, and it's just fun to be part of it.
Yeah, so if you're like me and maybe not a runner, but you can get involved anyway, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely not a runner.
How many cups of water have you gone through?
Oh, boy. feels like thousands, but just nonstop.
I see some more runners coming. I'll let you get back on the job.
All right, sounds good. Thanks. Have a great day.
John just lives up the hill and is an example of these great hardworking volunteers. And I mentioned this before, this marathon would not work if it were not for the literally dozens and maybe even hundreds of people that make this work on a regular basis. And in this, the 14th marathon, although we're at but 16 years, that's what continues to impress me about the marathon, is how everybody pitches in to not only run the race and run these races, but to also give that encouragement, give that, that moment of saying, you can do it, you can do this last part. And Jill knows from this that run-walk process that they teach you makes a huge difference. And that's what's allowing a lot of people to accomplish the half marathon, for example. And then maybe, if they get strong, they'll run that full marathon as well. So enthusiasm continues, and will continue even after we're off the air,
I think so.
Right here at Bonner Park. Back to you guys.
Oh boy, it's so exciting to see these marathoners cross the finish line. Some of them a little stiff-legged, but they did it.
But they did it, Jill.
They need a massage. I think there might even be a massage person over there. But they do have a medical tent, so that's nice.
I would hope so. Jill. Yeah, and then also, everyone's still just still funneling in here slowly but surely. We're almost done here, but before we do that, we just heard from Dennis. Let's go back to Megan and see what it looks like where she's at. Megan, how's it going?
We've told you a couple times, but I just have to reiterate it. The volunteers are the people that keep this race running. And one of their biggest jobs is having water ready for all of those runners that are coming through. There are 320 gallons of water in these red bins, and these volunteers are on it. Actually, hey, excuse me, can I have a water?
There you go.
Thank you. That's Taylor. He's helping people out. I got to stay hydrated too, It's a lot of work being here in front of the camera, me and Hannah Hislop. Anyway, we're having a great time here at the 19-mile marker. Runners are still steadily coming through as they near that finish line with Jill and Lewis. So, hey, we'll send it back to you guys. Enjoy.
Wow, this has just been a wonderful day. And of course, we're off the air at 9 o'clock, but people will still be coming across the finish line throughout the morning. I know there's a time limit, but for the most part, it's going to be a party atmosphere down here. They've got so many sponsors and people giving the runners food and water and care and T-shirts. So we appreciate all the local businesses that are helping out with that, plus our special sponsor as well.
Yeah, First Security Bank, want to thank them as just helping us put all this on, get all this together as well. Jill, like we were talking about too with all this, you said that the kind of time is coming to an end here for us right at 9, but if you're at home, you're watching us, come on down here today because like you were saying, a lot of local businesses down here. Obviously, everyone's down here enjoying. You said it's a party atmosphere. That's really what it feels like. As the half marathoners are still coming in, marathoners soon. We talked about there's over 4,000 runners that are participating in this. So if you want to come down there, it's a beautiful day for it. I tell you what, Joe, I think we'll stay down here for a while as well. I just saw my family walking around here, so I'll go. Yeah, so we'll have to hang out here down here.
It's just so great that after 2 years of having to deal with COVID and having to do this virtually, to have it in person again.
Yep.
It's just forgot about how great this was and how much fun it is, and what a wonderful accomplishment for the city of Missoula.
Yes.
Puts us on the map, when it comes to the running world, but so many other things too. All the businesses that are getting support because of all the people who are here, all the hotels that are filled. Mother Nature cooperated, a gorgeous day.
Yes.
It's just this has been a success all the way around, and just watching the winners just fills your heart with hope.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. So, Jill, we're almost out of time here. It's been fun. It's been a blast. Still cheering everybody coming through. I think after this, I'm going to have to get along the side here and just start cheering because that's what I've been wanting to do the whole time.
That's all I want to do while we were
I know. I know. I just want to keep cheering. So there we go, Jill. It's been a fantastic time. Congrats to all the runners. Congrats to all the winners that we've had down here as well. And it's been an overall just fantastic morning. And like we talked about, if you're still at home, come on down here because it's going to be happening all day.
Yeah, and thanks to the KPAX crew. We were all up about 5 this morning to get this set up for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it inspires you to maybe think about walking or running one of these races.
I'll at least think about it. I don't know about you, but I'll at least think about it.
Or be a volunteer, because being a part of this is really being a part of Missoula.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. You guys have an awesome Sunday. We appreciate you watching.